Hi, this is Beth Sample. We're going to go over the Evans High School School Improvement Team updates for November 22nd, 2021. The purpose of this data overview is to review the demographic changes for Evans High School over the past 3 years, look at our CCRPI score for the past 3 years, and to review the EOC scores for students for the past 3 years, and looking for our SMART goals for this year's school improvement plan. The questions to consider when beginning this data dive are: has the population of Evans High School changed in the past 3 years? How have these changes affected achievement levels? Have our achievement levels increased, or have they seen a decrease? Which of our student subgroups is struggling with academic growth? And then what can we do as a faculty and staff to help these students grow academically and to have a successful, productive high school career? Before we get down to the nitty-gritty of what exactly makes up Evans High School, well, let me tell you a little bit about Evans High School. We are the oldest high school in Columbia County. Our present building has been in use since 1981. We have 2,000 students this year, which is about almost 100 to 120 more than what we were expecting. Our school's mission statement is Evans High School strives to embrace cultural diversity, promote active citizenship, and cultivate lifelong learners. We also stand by our motto. We take pride in our dedication in our faculty, staff, and students, and our ongoing support of parents in our community. Evans' motto is there is a star in every night, and we are all champions for life. Well, looking at demographics, one of the first groups or two groups that I looked at were males and females. Over the years, our number of male and female students have always seemed about even. But if you look at the data from 2017 and 2018, you see that we only had 42% of our students were females, and 48% of our students were females, and 52% of our students were males. That was a larger difference than what we're seeing right now. Today, we're actually at almost 50% female, 50% male. So our student male to female ratio is almost 1-to-1. When looking at the percentage of enrollment by race and other subgroups, we noticed that there was a trend in our students with disabilities, that is actually one of the only groups, if not the only group, that we have seen any growth in the past 3 years. Our students with disabilities were at 7.5% in 2017, 2018, and then in 2019, 2020, they were up to 8.3%. So we have seen growth in our students with disabilities. Our other subgroups, which are limited English proficiency, eligible for free and reduced meals, migrant, African American, Black, Hispanic, Native American, and Alaskan Native, as well as our white and multiracial student subgroups, all of those groups have seen little to no growth in the past 3 years. They have fluctuated between 1% and 2% each year of remaining about the same. So when you look at the demographics of Evans High School, the majority of our students are white at 50.26%. Next is our Black, and then you can add our Black students in with our multiracial students to get almost 30%, and then our Hispanic student percentage subgroup is about 9%. So, as I said, looking at our various subgroups, our students with disabilities is the one group that is seeing growth. As the data team was focusing on what we need to come up with as our SMART goals for our school improvement plan this year, we always keep in mind the CCRPI indicators for Evans High School. Evans High School's indicators are content mastery, progress, closing the gaps, readiness, as well as our graduation rate. Our 2019 numbers for all of those were content mastery was 79.8, progress 87.5, closing the gaps 46.9. So that is an area that we do want to focus on. Our readiness goal is 79.3, and then our graduation rate was 90.6. Since Michael Johnson became principal of Evans High School in 2014, he has worked extremely hard with our student council, our PTSO, and our faculty and staff to improve our CCRPI scores. As you can see by looking at the data presented, Evans High School has had an increase to 87.1 in 2017, which brought it up from about a 75 from the previous year of 2016 to, we did see a dip in 2018. We went from 87.1 to 83.6. And then in 2019, we're back at 80.4. So with all of our efforts, we are moving in the wrong direction as far as our school climate and our CCRPI score go. But as you can see, we are almost even with the Columbia County District goals, and then we are above the state of Georgia CCRPI scores. So we are working very hard this year to get our kids back into the habit of coming to school and being successful at school after almost a year out and not having a regular school year. So we're hoping that at the end of this year and next year, our CCRPI score will be going up. At Evans High School, we have 115 certified faculty members, 5 administrators, 1 media specialist, a instructional technology coach. We have 4.5 guidance counselors, 1 technology support person. We have 1 school safety officer, 14 nutrition specialists, and 7 custodians. Of our 115 certified staff, 76% of us have master's degrees or specialist degrees. And as far as experience goes, 97% of our staff has 5 or more years experience teaching. And then 36% of our staff has 20 more years teaching. We do have about 10 brand new teachers this year, which is exciting and new for us because they're all excited and wanting to try new things, and they're doing very well with building relationships with our students. At Evans High School, we have both male and female teachers. Our administrative staff is made up of 4 gentlemen and 1 female teacher. The rest of our staff is about almost half and half. We do have more female teachers than we do male teachers. Right now we have about 80 female teachers and 40 male teachers. We also have our technology support person is a male. Our instructional technology coach is a female. The majority of our PE staff are male with 1 female coach. Then throughout the building, we have all different ethnic groups. We have Asian, multiracial, Hispanic, white, as well as Black. We are also a very, I guess you would say, educated staff. The majority of us have master's or specialist degrees, and then we have 4 staff members who actually hold doctorate degrees. One of the main purposes of looking at the data that we've been discussing so far is to come up with our SMART goals for the school improvement plan for the 2021-2022 school year. As we began looking at our EOC scores from the past several years, we noticed that we had one group that was standing out more than the others as not being successful on the EOC and in a certain content area, and it is our American Literature EOC, students with disabilities. So our 11th grade students with disabilities are struggling when it comes to being successful on the EOC. Now, as an English teacher, our department realizes that for a lot of our students with disabilities, American literature is typically harder as far as the content area and as far as the EOC, because the EOC has a strong writing piece on this. So we're going to look at how our students have done over the past 3 years to see if there is any significant change or if they are mainly the group that is struggling with this EOC. As we began going through our data for the prior years, we did notice that there was a trend that our students with disabilities were typically our beginning learners on the American Literature EOC when we looked at our varying subgroups. The data team noticed that even going as far back as 2016, 2017, our students with disabilities were still definitely struggling with the American Literature EOC. So that is the group that we've decided that we are going to build one of our SIP SMART goals around. So our 2021-2022 SIP data team has decided that one of our school improvement goals for this school year will be that by the end of the 2021-2022 school year, our student performance for our students with disabilities subgroup will improve by 3% on the 11th grade ELA EOC from a 12% proficient range to a 15% proficient range. The action steps that we're going to be taking to achieve this goal are going to be action step 1. ELA content teachers and their special education co-teachers will co-plan weekly to develop instruction that meets the needs of all students. The second action step for achieving goal 1 is teacher lesson plans will show evidence of strategies for differentiation, specifically in remediation as well as enrichment. We have also decided as a department that we are going to focus on vocabulary and reading comprehension. Action step 3 will be special education co-teachers will present and monitor research-based strategies with their content level co-teachers in their instruction. So we're hoping that allowing special education co-teachers and their inclusion teachers will plan together and give them a co-planning will allow these action steps to be attainable and will not be beyond reasonable expectations for our teachers to actually be able to come up with these ideas and lessons that will work well for our students. From this data overview, our data team was able to come up with one of our 2021-2022 school improvement goals, which was goal 1. By the end of the 2021-2022 school year, student performance for the SWD subgroup, or students with disabilities, will improve by 3% on the 11th grade ELA EOC from 12% proficient range to a 15% proficient range. We are hoping that allowing our special ed teachers to have common planning with their co-teachers, that this will be an attainable and reachable goal. So, in conclusion, as our illustrious leader, Mr. Michael Johnson, likes to say, let's do this, Evans High School, because there's a star in every night and we are all champions for life.
Created using Powtoon.